answer lies in the heart of battle.
King of Iron Fist Tournament.
Mugen TV versus Corner.
Welcome to the stage of history retold.
Hey guys, this is MugenLord here, and I'm back again with another video. And today we're going to talk about some Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and that's because Hero has been talked about quite a lot throughout the community, and I haven't really talked about it much because there's been a lot of debate and issue about the character Hero from Dragon Quest because of how random he is. His RNG just can be quite ridiculous, and I pretty much had hands-on with the character. If you guys haven't checked out my impressions of the character, I had done that a little while ago. I'll post that in the card. You can be able to click on that and you just get my overall impressions of the character. But overall, I just think the Hero character is pretty fun. And the reason why I want to talk about this is because recently Sakurai had pretty much been interviewed, and there's an article posted by Siliconera, and they talked about this and his concerns, or where he pretty much anticipated that people was going to pretty much have concerns with this character in a competitive sense and everything. So he did say in the article that developing the character in general is going to have quite a few hurdles because the character was never seen before, fighting other characters. The characters have never been voiced before, so getting the voice for the character was going to cause quite a challenge for Sakurai to be able to pretty much put something together for the character. But most of all, designing a moveset and trying to stay faithful to the character, to Dragon Quest in general, was quite the challenge. And he figured that, hey, why not make the character do moves based on some of the attacks that can be found in Dragon Quest franchise in general. Now, he did say that a lot of people will hate the character, or he was fully aware that there's half the community does hate the character, while others don't really care too much. And a lot of people don't like the character because he realized how random the character is. Now, the thing is, what's so funny about it, Sakurai did acknowledge, especially in the article, it says Sakurai acknowledges that there are people who hate the character like Hero who add in random elements. But he says, however, in the first place, Super Smash Bros. Is an unpredictable game where you have fun and move on to the next game anyways. So this is quite interesting. This is quite funny because Sakurai is still sticking to his guns. He does acknowledge that there is a competitive crowd and a competitive scene out there for Super Smash Brothers, but he still holds dear to his heart that Super Smash Brothers is still indeed a random game to him, which you can still have a lot of fun, and it has some random elements. So he believed that pretty much Hero pretty much fits that mold quite well, and he's pretty much the essence of how random Super Smash Brothers can be. Now, the randomness that he speaks of course, is if you talk about adding in items in Super Smash Brothers. So items can add that shred of randomness in there, and of course when you add in the final smashes, that can add in some randomness. Then you have, of course, the stage hazards and all the other type of stage effects that happens that can cause randomness to occur while playing the game. But he still sees it as all about having fun, and it's dumb fun as well, that you can still have a good time while playing. It's the competitive scene that pretty much strip away a lot of those things in order to make it competitive. So that's why Sakurai didn't pretty much see an issue with it, because his overall idea what Smash Brothers is, he sees Smash Brothers as being random, and that's why he wanted to input them in the game. There was still some recent controversies concerning Heroes, for the fact is that there's been recent announcements that Hero will be banned, or just future DLC characters that doesn't fit in the, I think, September 28th to November 3rd window, or the November 11th window. Any characters released within that window won't be able to pretty much be included in the upcoming tournaments that they're having overseas for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, which I find quite interesting. But Sakurai is fully aware of how there's people out there who can't stand the character, and for me, I think the character is quite fun, and the randomness does make the character quite scary, because you don't know what predicament you be in, because at 1 minute you can have the upper hand over a Hero player, and then out of nowhere they can turn the tides with quite a few of his movesets that can pretty much lean in his favor. and it can pretty much turn a tide of battle. So I can see where the frustration's at, but at the same time, you're still rolling the die when you're playing as the hero player, because anything can happen. You don't know what type of moveset or moveset that you're getting when you're doing your RNG. You also have to still rely on the MP that you gain in. So you still have to put a little bit of that work in, but so the character can be random. And the thing is, I caught myself kamikazing by accident a few times, so I found myself giving away free stocks. So that does happen at times, especially if you're trying to move along the RNG list and you're being so fast and you're trying to glance at the character or at the move list and accidentally press the wrong move list, and you still have to memorize the moves as well, which each of them does. Because Sakurai did mention in the article that Sizz and Sizzle and Frizz, which is the neutral B, he had a hard time trying to figure out what he wanted to do with the with that move, because they did have quite a few similarities, and he said he had to play some of the older Dragon Quest games so you can get an idea of how he can go about Sizz and Frizz. And that's the thing that really confuses me with the character, because some of the names sound quite the same. So I end up mixing up what move does what. So I think that can be a challenge for some hero players, or when you just diving into the hero character. So the character does have some ups and downs if you playing as hero, or if you're playing against hero. But that's pretty much, you know, the gist of what I wanted to talk about in this topic, of how that Sakurai acknowledges that people out there and players out there can't stand the hero character. He acknowledges that. And I also wanted to talk about this because he also still stick to his guns that he still sees Smash Brothers as just a fun game to play. He doesn't really call it a fight or anything. He still calls it a fun game with randomness included into the mix, that has a ton of characters from Nintendo properties and now third-party properties. So I definitely want to hear your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'll definitely post the article so you can read the entire article yourself. And I definitely want to hear your thoughts on what you think about Sakurai's comment about that Smash Bros is just a random game in general, and how Hero just pretty much complements that randomness. I definitely want to hear your thoughts on that, because I think that's quite interesting, because there's always still been debates whether or not Smash Brothers is a true fighting game or not. But I definitely want to hear your thoughts on that. And also, if you like the video, just hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and also if you want to be notified for more Super Smash Bros Ultimate news, hit the bell to be notified. This is MugenLord signing off. See you Game Fiends later. Peace out. It looks like you reached the end of the video. Well, while you're at it, check out some of my other discussion videos by clicking on the annotations below, and don't forget to follow me on other social media platforms to stay up to date with future content. Signing off.